UAB teaches unorthodox. And hang on to that, because we're going to do some pretty unorthodox things like get science and math teachers through to a major and certification in 4 years, 8 semesters with no summers. We'll produce 40 to 60 new STEM teachers a year once we're fully implemented. And that's an unheard of number of new teachers to put out into Central Alabama. Another thing about UTeach itself, the approach, it's often opposed by the education establishment, people like me. When I first heard about UTeach, I crossed my arms and I said, it won't work. And then I went to the UTeach Institute, and pretty soon I saw an approach that would work and would get more students out teaching science and math well. UAB Teach is a web of strong partnerships. Partnerships woven together to produce new science and math teachers. You're going to hear from some of these partners today. Nimsay, the UTeach Institute, and the Howard Hughes Medical Institute are all national partners that have set us up for success. This is our way of doing business for preparing science and math teachers now at UAB. We're phasing out our traditional program, and UAB Teach will be the only way that students who are undergraduates become science or math teachers here at UAB.
This is an amazing and a wonderful event for us at UAB, and I think it's going to be an amazing and a wonderful event for the whole state of Alabama. There have been some people that have worked very hard on this, and you don't start something like this without a lot of preparation. Lee was saying something about, I got interested in this. I was the dean of the School of Engineering before I came into the provost office, and I always thought that there were a lot of, well, not a lot, I thought there was going to be a certain number of engineering students that would like to teach. They love the discipline, they love the curriculum, but to go into a company, it wasn't their thing, but they could go in and teach. A number of our high schools now have engineering academies, and said, how can engineers go through their 4-year discipline and come out and be able to teach? Don't you think those would be good teachers? And they said, oh yeah, but there's some problems, Linda. So there's 3 units that have been involved in this. Engineering, education, of course, and the College of Arts and Sciences. And our idea is to produce for these undergraduate students to majoring in math, science, engineering, computer science, to complete their degrees and receive full teaching certification in 4 years at no extra time or cost. That's a very ambitious goal, and they have worked it out. As Lee said, they've got a plan, they've got data, they can show that this kind of thing works. Clearly, we need more and more highly qualified math teachers at both the middle school and the high school level. We know, as we look at workplace data, that the number of teachers are going to be needing more and more teachers, especially in the STEM disciplines. And I think this new model is going to be very attractive to students wanting to get their major, as also be prepared to teach once they finish the 4 years. I am just looking forward to a successful in 4 years when they walk across that stage and get that diploma, and knowing that they're going to be going out and they're going to be not only teachers but really highly qualified, outstanding, passionate teachers, and that's what we need.
I'm so pleased to be here today to represent our State Board of Education and our State Department of Education, and as a proud UAB graduate, to be part of this announcement today, which is a milestone for UAB, but even more a milestone for our state. The reason it's really important for us to be partners in this is our state now has a new plan for public education that we refer to as Plan 2020. And one of the pillars of that plan, one of the 4 pillars of that plan, is to ensure that we have an effectively prepared, resourced, and supported teacher in every classroom in the state of Alabama. And to do that in the disciplines of math and science takes a strong background in those disciplines. And we look to the UTeach model as a way to ensure that teachers coming out of the UAB program will have that background knowledge in math and science to do things that we might not have ever been able to do before. So we're very, very pleased with that. We also know that the two areas that are the hardest to staff in our public schools across the state of Alabama, especially in rural school systems, is in the area of math and science. And regretfully, those are some of the children who need the very best teachers. So we look forward, Lee, to working with this program here at UAB to make sure that we get those teachers not only in the surrounding school systems that we have here, but spread out across our state to make a difference for lots and lots of children. And I was in rural Mobile County this past week at Caslin Elementary School, out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And I walk into classrooms unannounced to see what's going on, and I walked in on a classroom of fifth graders creating code. And I stopped and I said, explain to me what you're doing. They said, we're creating code so we can program our robots to traverse this streetscape that we've created in our classroom. And I said, how did you know to do that? They had a teacher that had gone from engineering into being a mathematics teacher in elementary school to teach coding to fifth grade students in rural Alabama. We can make this happen, people, and our kids are resilient. They can learn at levels we've never thought of before, and this program in equipping our teachers to do that is going to be a game changer, and we're so excited to be a partner in this. Thank you.
And I'm thrilled to be here today for the launch of the University of Alabama at Birmingham's UTeach program, UAB Teach. As Dr. Lucas and Dr. Bice have noted, the University of Alabama Birmingham UTeach program is important not just for the university and the state, but it's also important nationally to address the need for more STEM educators, to energize and inspire new generations of students in math and science. At the National Math and Science Initiative, we are committed to producing and retaining effective elementary and secondary teachers through our professional development programs for practicing teachers and our partnerships with A+ College Ready in Alabama, who provide that training, and through our work with the UTeach Institute to replicate and expand the UTeach program for STEM teacher preparation.
And I am here today to welcome all of you at UAB into the Nimsay Alabama family. So it will be a great ride, and you will be so honored to be a part of this team. I cannot tell you how powerful it has been. A little background. 6 years ago, A+ Education Partnership, represented by Caroline Novak, who's here today, established A+ College Ready when we received a Nimsay grant of $13 million to build STEM success in Alabama, focusing on AP teachers and pre-AP teachers throughout the state. We've had a great time doing that. We're one of 6 states, and being in the Nimsay family has a lot of advantages. But UAB Teach, as our partner, will really fill a tremendous gap that all of the programs in this state that are dedicated to working on STEM issues have, and that is to put great teachers with deep content knowledge in their fields into classrooms across the state. 40 new teachers a year in math and science. I cannot tell you how excited we are about that.
First of all, in the UTeach model, it's hands-on and field-based. Students are placed in mathematics and science classrooms from the start. We have semester 1 and semester 2, our step 1 and step 2, which are the introductory courses that allow students to decide if teaching is for them. And since future secondary school teachers cannot be put into secondary school classrooms, part of this model is to put them into elementary and middle school classrooms for their first field experience. Now, that means we can't just deal with high schools. We have to have as partners entire school systems, because we're going to rely upon not just partnering with their high school teachers, but with their elementary and their middle school teachers as well.
There was a team of us that was responsible for this right from the start. Experienced teachers, faculty from the College of Education came up with a plan, and I'll mention some of the features of it, some of the ideas that led to the extensive set of classes that you see up here. One basic idea was that students should start by teaching, doing the thing that they would do, because you shouldn't teach if you don't like kids. And there was another thing about it, which is that they should major in what they were going to teach, because you should know what you're going to teach. And then there's another feature of it, which is that we should try, no matter what pain it caused the faculty on the committee meetings, we should try to get it to fit within 4 years, because a gifted student should not have to pay extra to devote themselves to a life of service. So we committed ourselves to these principles, and we found a way through our own university, and the numbers began to grow as the students came. There were many signs of success, the fact that we doubled the number of math and science teachers who came out of the university, the fact that although they could go to graduate school, 90% of them went into teaching, and that 5 years into their teaching experience, 80% of those who'd begun were still in schools. And UTeach has been a way for us to come together and use our energy in order to do these things that we've always known that we could do. So that's what the UTeach community has become and is becoming. It's a collection of people who have this form of heart, who believe that there are students willing to devote themselves to teaching, that we can work together to find a way to make that happen. We can use our collective expertise in order to produce the new generation of teachers, and it is a great pleasure and honor to welcome UAB and UAB Teach to the family of UTeach universities. Thank you for inviting me.